r/Askreddit by Robotainment. What do you use to remind yourself that everything isn't that bad? I don't need a wheelchair anymore. I can die later. The world is going to kill me, whether I like it or not, so why not stick around for a few more decades and see what happens? In some ways it's comforting to know I don't have to do this forever, and I don't have to kill myself. Curiosity and things to look forward to, even TV shows, games, movies, or visits from relatives. I always pick something to look forward to. I've heard that's a really good strategy for people struggling with suicidal thoughts. Pick one or two things that are coming out weeks or months from now, a new game, book, movie, whatever, and remind yourself that you will miss out on that one thing if you go through with it. It's the little things that keep us going, and it's the little things that are often the most important. I try to remember that we're all just making it up as we go along. Biggest realization for me as an adult was when I learned nobody actually knows what they are doing, just their best. I think about the fact that all things considered I'm reasonably healthy and there's no warrant out for my arrest. I heard a guest on the Joe Rogan podcast say a healthy person wants a million things. A sick person just wants one thing. I use this all the time. Edit source www.youtube.com link. Yet. I had a stroke a couple of weeks ago, only 27, and no health explanation for the event. And while I was in the hospital walking down the hall with my good old buddy Winston, what I named my fourth drip machine pumping me with blood thinner, an older gentleman across the hall saw me and told his nurse I was far too young to be in the ICU. He had a little plastic pumpkin for Halloween and not much else, so he asked the nurse to give it to me. I never found out which patient gave me that pumpkin, but since the stroke, whenever things get stressful I look at it now sitting on my desk at work and remember that everything is okay. I plan on keeping my little plastic stroke pumpkin for the rest of my life, however long or short it may be, and #X200B. Edit. Never thought I would have to be that girl, but this got way more attention than I had ever expected. I'm going to be driving home soon from work and I'm still working on replying to all of the comments here. I just wanted to thank all of you for taking the time to show a little support. It really does mean something to me, and it is oddly comforting having so many absolute strangers take a moment to relate/offer encouragement. And of course, for those who decided me and my stroke pumpkin were worthy of actual currency, thank you very much for the awards. I'm happy my experience could make an impression on someone else's day. I hope you make a full recovery. I text a friend and see if they want to have dinner. We plan something and cook it with a good drink, then another, repeat as necessary. Life feels pretty good after a few drinks and dinner with friends. Also, I get to try out a lot of new recipes. What are these friends you speak of? I learned in college the danger of having friends you also work with, so now I pretty much just don't have friends I can just invite over. I have a roof over my head. Yeah man, we're not all that lucky. My cat pretty much instinctively knows when I'm down. He gets very cuddly and won't leave my side if I'm upset. My fiance always says that he must be a loved one reincarnated. My name is Cat, and even though you cry sometime, I know you know that when you're glum and gloomy too, I'll hold you close. I'm there for you. That despite the fact I suffer kidney failure and am on dialysis 3 days a week, I remind myself that I'm at least still alive and can still be with my family. Many other serious illnesses don't give that luxury. Would like to point out I'm from UK for those who have asked. Scotland to be more specific. I'm on dialysis too. I switched to peritoneal dialysis a couple years ago after having been on hemodialysis for a year. I cannot stress enough how much better my quality of life has become. I treat myself at home every night while I sleep. No more needles. No more sitting in a chair for 4 hours every other day. It's also much easier to travel. But most importantly, I feel better than I did on hemo. I always felt like a zombie after hemo. The dietary restrictions are also not as severe. I strongly recommend you speak to your nephrologist about PD. It's easy to do, and you will regain a lot of control of your life. You will not regret it. If you have any questions, feel free to direct message me. Edit. Silver and gold. Thank you. my pets, and hashtag X200B. Edit. For those who wanted pics, imgur.com link, and hashtag X200B. Edit again. Part 2 more pics, imgur.com link, that my mom took. What pets do you have? Riding my bike and listening to music. It takes my mind off of everything, and I forget what's going on and am just happy. Edit. Holy crap, thanks for the upvotes and the to silver. I just got out of work so this is a shocker lol. Thanks everyone. I think about all the natural wonders, all the organisms both beautiful and terrifying that inhabit this earth with me. I think about the fact that no matter how bad things seem on our pale blue dot, the cosmos are massive, complex, and new stars are still being born in stellar nurseries all the time. I also like to think of my life from a historical context. Needed a root canal a few weeks ago and was pretty bummed about it till I remember that told to me dentistry was whiskey and some dude with a steady hammering hand. Hardcore history and other such shows are also excellent workout motivation. My ancestors used to have to be ready to throw down and scrap. This bike ride to the grocery store is a cakewalk comparatively, and it's good for me too. Edit. Someone commented and reminded me of this. Docs.google.com link, amazing short story. Creative writing, novels, and art are also things that cheer me up greatly. Beautiful and terrifying organisms. Had to read that twice. I'm not homeless anymore. My chronic illness is in remission, so I can feed myself and even work outside the house. Life is good. We're only here for a minute. Enjoy it. Edit. Thanks for the cake day wishes. Love you guys. When days are hard and nights are long, when storms are aging rough, when all my dreams are none too strong, and hopes ain't hope enough, I close my eyes to hear the breeze, the secret words inside, the whispered winds that shake the trees, the songs that skip and hide. I hear the rhymes that ride the tide, the swing, the sound, the beat, the lines that swell and slip and slide. In stanzas, small and sweet, I hear the sounds that hold and wait for those who seek to find a safer shore, a surer state, a better frame of mind. When days are hard, when tempests cry, a squall of aches and pains, I close my eyes and breathe a sigh, and poetry remains. This is beautiful. I'm very glad that you have poetry to help you be happy, Sprog, because you have absolutely spread that happiness to countless people on this ridiculous website. You're undoubtedly a gifted enough writer to take your talent literally anywhere else, but thank you for spending the effort entertaining us here on Reddit. Why is there 69 silvers? Edit. Or it's not 69 anymore. I laugh at myself for being a big or edit. I think someone's trying to get people to reply to this thread for one reason or another. Maybe they feel others need to see the replies? Yeah, maybe. I think we all need to know how to keep ourselves cheery from time to time. That experiences with people is what matters most, not money or material. What if experiences with people is the problem? Hopefully this gets past all the award stuff, but one thing that reminds me that everything isn't all bad is that I have people and pets that want me around. I can have an utterly terrible day, come home, and my dog is waiting at the door to greet me. Every day, it'll go lay down, and he'll come cuddle with me. My sister notices the funk and will make me dinner or a dessert or something to lift my spirits, and I don't have to say a word. I'm close enough with my best friend that he can notice something off about me just by the way I text, and he'll come over to play some video games and talk. Please remember that there are people around you that love you and care for you. When you're having an utterly shit day, there are people that actively want to make it better because they care for you. You may not notice the ways that they do it, but they do. It can be as simple as just asking how your day was. They know, they can tell, or as elaborate as taking you out to unwind and have a fun time to forget and relax. No one is ever alone in this world, even if you feel it. And if you genuinely feel it, message me. I'm always welcoming conversations from anyone. So I'm having a bit of a day, feeling kind of downtrodden and alone, and your post really lifted my spirits and reminded me to think of all the ways my loved ones do support me. I actually teared up a bit in a good way. Just thought you might like to know. Thank you equals. My kids. They are helping me more than anything else right now. I remember that Yahoo hasn't given up, so why should I? Reminds me of a saying that I used to repeat to myself occasionally. If Internet Explorer is brave enough to ask to be your default browser, you can be brave enough to ask that girl out. I found this absolutely hilarious, and one time it actually gave me the courage to ask somebody out, lol. My love for deer on the side of the road, the ones that are alive. It reminds me the innocence of nature and makes me feel warm and alive. Glad you don't love the dead ones. Necrophilic bestiality is one hell of a kink. High school is almost over, and a new chapter of my life is about to start. Right now it's this photo that I saw in Photoshop battles a while back. Imgur.com link. This beautiful cat just fills me with so much joy when I look at it that I know what Obama's last name is. Telm. On an infinite timeline, I somehow happen to exist at the same time as Rick and Morty and Honey Mustard and Onion Pretzel Bites. You don't know what you're missing out on my timeline. My youngest daughter Emma, she is 1/2 years old and just knows how to enjoy every second of life. She wakes with a smile and goes to bed grinning while holding her Winnie the Pooh. She falls while walking and just dusts herself off and keeps going. Every time she hears a motorcycle she says, oh, and then vroom vroom while signing motorcycle. That I'm not part of all the horror that is going on in the world. I'm not part of all the by their parents abused teenagers. I'm not living in an area where there is war, hunger and no education. I have the extreme benefit of living in a good neighborhood without any criminal activity. In general, I just compare myself to all the people in my age who have it way worse. Then I realize how lucky I am. How good everything really is. Someone somewhere has gone through something much worse and made it through. Why can't I? Remembering that statistically speaking, we live in the most peaceful and prosperous time in history. Average lifespan is the longest it's ever been, and the world is slowly yet constantly getting better for everyone regardless of situation. It may not always look that way, but on average it is true. I just wanted to comment on this and say thank you to everyone. I'll try and respond to everyone, but I'm a slow typer on a phone that freezes. Also, thank you to the person giving away these awards. You're making a lot of people happy. Edit. This is on the top posts page. If this makes it to an r/YouTube video, help us my pants. I'm still trying to respond to everyone, but I'm not making much progress. I go for a walk. Sometimes a little sunshine will help ease my anxiety. Well, someone's botting silver awards. Dude, my phone won't stop going off. What's going on? Lack of money isn't that big of a deal when I remember that I have my health, a job I enjoy, and a partner that appreciates me. I look at my adult kids. They are happy, successful adults. Makes me feel satisfied that I did a good job as mom. My mom, she died from cancer at the age of 48, while my sister was addicted to heroin. My dad was cheating on her and was going through bankruptcy. Regardless, she still showed people so much kindness and was a fantastic woman who was always smiling. I have depression and my life isn't so great right now, but I always tell myself that it can get better and that if my mom could live day to day with a smile on her face, so can I feel more people going through a terrible time can really use an example like her to at least give them a little push in the right direction. Someone is rich. I have a very long list of things that give me a certain feeling, like appreciative nostalgia almost, but not quite. A few things from it are air conditioning in hotels, trains, lucky numbers, being introduced to something new by someone you love, mixes labeled with themes like rain, for sleeping, for driving when the lights dim, before previews in the movies. Ops mom. She makes me happy too, although I feel like it's for two very different reasons. At least I'm not pregnant. I think of the soldiers in the trenches in WWI. It puts things in perspective on when I'm getting up early for a stressful day in the office. This thread, even if I don't get an award, I love that someone is making every own's day a little brighter. Preamble, I'm in no way a badass, and in no way am I scoreboarding anybody. Got mortared a few times in Afghanistan. After that, you come to realize that every day above ground is a gift. Danny DeVito. I remember that I have HIV and how bad it is. And then I remind others that their life's not that bad because they could have HIV like me. The only thing that breaks my heart is seeing children with cancer or congenital illnesses. That makes me feel for the kids and their families. I beat cancer. Everything else is easy. There are so many awards in this comment section that I'm feeling bad for the guy that is spending this money. Me too, mate. What a saint. Sat on their chair giggling, I hope. Some people aren't dicks and will say something that will make you smile for days after. I think about that. My happy kids and the little things. I got a 4-year-old that thinks I'm the coolest dad ever. I feel like breaking down all the time, but I couldn't do that to him. Him his rock, but really, here's mine. Dog. It's more of a mindset or perspective than anything else. If I'm having a bad day, I try to focus on the good things. It sounds very cliche to type it out, but just thinking of the millions of people that have it worse, some of them suffering death-threatening diseases or difficulties like being blind or crippled, and that despite that, some of them are even happier than I'm in the moment. It takes away some of the steam I could behaving. I'm also Christian and believe there's a greater purpose/reason for stuff. It does help me. WTH is happening, everyone is getting platinum awards. Watch Schindler's List. I'm healthy, I'm young, have pretty good friends, and I'm training for an awesome position in the army. Things are tough here. I live in Israel and I don't know if anyone knows this, but Tuesday morning rockets started firing at us again from Gaza. I was in my base and had to hear my sister crying over the phone with no way to help because a rocket fell close to our house and she was scared, and our mom was stuck in Tel Aviv. It's really sad that that's my reality and we're just used to it by now. But hopefully things will come down now and go back to normal and I can focus on the things that make my life good. Music and weed. Copious amounts of both. Oh yeah, this is a really good question, by the way. I look at my 4-week-old daughter. Just the fact that dogs exist. They are these animals that are about as perfect as a creature can get. A dog will never cheat on you. It'll never cut you off in traffic and give you the finger. It'll never pass you over for that promotion. It'll never make fun of your weight. Your dog thinks you look fantastic in that outfit that you bought, but were kinda nervous to wear because it's not your usual look. Dogs are the best. Dogs. Puppy videos, reunion puppy videos, senior puppy tippy tap videos, derpy puppy videos always gets a good smile. In boot camp our drill sergeant told us, it doesn't get easier, you get better. It's not what everyone needs to hear all the time, but by golly it's gotten me through some rough patches. Roger Stone was just convicted on all 7 counts. You know what else counts to 7? Epstein did not kill himself. Who is he? I'm not dead. I'm still going and fighting, so things can still get better. Hillary Clinton isn't the president. Hookers and booze. Damn, whoever's handing out these silvers, reveal yourself so we can praise you. Drugs. Like and subscribe for good luck, you handsome gentleman.